Hello student, today I shall discuss you a software model which is very different from the other software development model. This model is rapid application development model. Means this model is particularly used for rapid development. There are some situations when do not have sufficient time to understand or design and code the program, but you are in a hurry to build the final product in some emergency situations or in some time where there is a deadline that you have to meet. This model was proposed by the IBM in 1980 through the book of James Martin entitled Rapid Application Development. तो ये मॉडल नाम से ही क्लियर है, दिस मॉडल इज यूज्ड फॉर रैपिड एप्लीकेशन डेवलपमेंट. So this model cannot be used every time. Here user involvement is essential for requirement phase and to deliver the product. इस मॉडल में आपका यूजर का इन्वॉल्वमेंट on each stage is a necessary condition. It means इसमें आपको यूजर का इन्वॉल्वमेंट पूरी तरह से होना चाहिए, तभी आप इस मॉडल को यूज करेंगे, अदरवाइज आप इसको यूज नहीं करेंगे. जैसे हो सकता है कुछ यूजर्स होते हैं जो अपने प्रोडक्ट को ऑर्डर देते हैं, अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट बताते हैं और उसके बाद वो सर्टेन टाइम के बाद वो आपसे प्रोडक्ट का वैलिडेशन के लिए या चेक करने के लिए आपके पास आते हैं. सो इन दैट सिचुएशंस you cannot use the rapid application development model. In that situation, you will use some other model, but not rapid application development model. Because the most important condition for rapid application development model is the user involvement for every phase of product. The continuous user participations ensure the involvement of the user's expectation and perspective in requirement elicitation, analysis and design of the system. जैसा कि उसको पता है, जब आप इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन में हैं तो आप you cannot wait that the something you have designed and then get the feedback from the customer, because if something is under process, if the customer is involved while in the development designing phase or development phase, he can check out that whether the product is as per his expectation and perspective or not. So the requirement elicitation is done in a better way in the software product project in which the customer is continuously involved. So continuous user involvement is the key feature of the rapid application development model. In the rapid application development model, it starts with building a rapid prototype and is given to the user for evaluation. It does not mean continuous user involvement means he would sit together with the developer and he would look at the code, because he will not understand that. The customer continuous involvement means he would be available to review the prototype as soon as it is built. So first a rapid prototype is built and is given to the user for evaluation. एक प्रोटोटाइप जल्दी से बनाया जाता है और वो यूजर को दिखाया जाता है to get the feedback. The user feedback is obtained and prototype is refined. This process continues till the requirements are finalized. We may use any grouping technique like fast, QFD, brainstorming for detailed techniques. These techniques as fast and QFD and brainstorming are the technique that are used for requirement elicitation. In this, what we do in this technique, the different developers which works on different modules discuss and share their ideas and views so that they draft a final set of requirement which satisfy the expectation and perspectives of the client. In brain, while finalizing this draft, there is a facilitator which is there to decide to determine that while deciding the requirement, there should be no grouping or there should be no dominant group, and every user should get equal share of time and should feel free to share their idea and doubts. So these are the techniques which are used for requirement elicitation. Besides this, the client is also involved in it. Now, after this, a software requirement specification and design document are prepared with the association of user. And after that, the final SRS document, software requirement specification of the design document is prepared with the association of the user, right? And the four phases of this model are as shown in this diagram. Right? The first phase is requirement planning. The second one is user description. The third is construction, and fourth one is cutover. And during all these phases, the active participation of user is a must. Means the user is involved in all the four phases of this model. So the first phase of this model is requirement planning phase. In requirements are captured using any group elicitation technique like brainstorming, interview, QFD techniques like this. Some techniques and our only issue is the active involvement of user for understanding the project. So first of all, for any project, we first elicitate the requirement. We find out the requirement, and then after that, with help of the customer, we finalize that what are the actual requirement of the customer. During this requirement planning phase, we find the user should be involved so that he can clarify that what are his actual requirement, expectation, and perceptions about the software. The second phase is user description. A joint team of developer and user are constituted to prepare, understand, and review the requirement. The team may use automated tool to capture the information from the other user. Here, the joint team of developer and user are constituted. Suppose a client has given a project. This project, or definitely a software project, would be used by some users. So the developer and the user of that software combinedly understand and review their requirement, because client is the person who demand a particular software, but its software requirements depends upon the user who will use the software. So after the requirement are finalized, captured with the user, now both developer and user combinedly understand and review the requirement. First of all, the requirement are defined by the users, by the users. Later on, if there is a difference between the view of developer and the view of the customer, because the developer use some technical terms and user use the simple languages. So there is a gap in between. So the user, there should be meeting between the user and developer so that they can actually understand what the user wants and what the developer understand about their perception, how well the developer understand the requirement, perspective, and expectation of the user. By this, they eliminate the gap in between. For this, the team may use some automated tool to capture the information from the other user. Now, the construction phase. This phase combined the detailed design, coding, and testing phase of the waterfall model. Here, we release the product to customer. It is expected to use code generator, screen generator, and other type of productivity tools. In construction phase, there is a difference in this model in comparison to the other model, that in this model, we use some special type of productivity tools, or which tools which generate automated code, like code generator, screen generator, which can be used to generate some portion of the code automatically, which are later modified by the expert programmer as per their requirement. So in this phase, we combines the detailed design, coding, and testing like the waterfall model, and release the product to the customer. In this, the use of automated tool as code generator and screen generator is done by the expert programmer, and this is the specialty of this model. The last phase is cutover phase. This phase incorporate acceptance testing by the user, installation of the system, and user training. Fine. In the last phase, the product, we check out whether the final product is as per the user requirement or not. If he wants to edit or modify some portion or update, then the developer update some portion according to them. So this is called the cutover phase. And we finally install that software to the system and provide the proper training to the user so that he can well understand the software and use that software. In this model, the quick initial view about the product are possible due to delivery of rapid prototype. In this model is rapid as we rapidly develop a prototype. The development time of the product may be reduced due to the powerful development tool. As I have told you that this model is fast because it uses some automated tool or productive tools as the code generator and screen generator. It may use case tools and framework to increase the productivity. तो case tool computer aided software engineering होता है, special tools that are used that generate some portion of our code, automatic code. Involvement of user may increase the acceptability of the product. As the user is involved in each phase of the development, so it is more likely that the final product would be as per the requirement of the client. If user cannot be involved throughout the life cycle, this may not be an appropriate model. As I have told you, if the user is not there to review every phase of the model, then this model is not suitable one. Development time may not be reduced very significantly if reusable components are not available. In this model, what we do, we use some reusable components. Otherwise, if we design or code every line of code by ourselves, then it would take same time as the other life models. So the use of reusable component and some code generator, screen generator, and case tools make this easier for developer or programmer to write the code in a very short span of time. But this is not an easy task, and we need highly specialized and skilled developer who understand to use that, who have the knowledge to use these automatic code generator and tools, because they would not be used as it is in the final product, but they will be used with some modification. And So expert developer and skilled developer are required to use this model. It may not be effective if system cannot be properly modularized. And if system cannot be modularized, then it means it cannot use reusable components. So there is chances that it is not having the reusable, it will not take use of the reusable component. So it would be not suitable model. So this model is called rapid application development model. So once I summarize, that rapid application development is very different from the other software model, as it required the active participation of users in each phase. It has 4 phases: requirement planning, user description, construction, and cutover phase. And the use of some productive tool as code generator and screen generator case tools make it possible that the user developer can rapidly develop the final user product by using the reusable components. So that's all about the rapid application development model.